What's up guys, and in this video I'm going to be playing the 17th and final chapter of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black called Poisoned Blood. So with that out of the way, let's begin with the playthrough. Alright, the 17th and final chapter of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Poisoned Blood. I'm going to try to kill these red piranha fishes with the Art of the Inferno, and you know, it's not really killing these piranha fishes as quickly as I thought it would. Let's try again for the third time. Yeah, it's still not really killing them as quickly as I thought. So just use your bow or howling cannon. Use those two because it's much more faster at killing these piranha fishes than using the Inferno, Piercing Void and Wind Blades and Flame Phoenix. Let's see what's inside this chest. Nice red essence. I'll switch to the Eclipse Scythe melee weapon for this upcoming boss fight.
Genshin, go back to hell.
Yeah, this is the last time you fight against Genshin. This time, Genshin is now a fiend, and he has a much different form, and you can't Izuna drop Fiend Genshin because of his size. It's too big. And you definitely do need to watch out for Fiend Genshin, as he's much stronger than, regular Genshin. But yeah, just wanted to mention this is the last time you fight against him. I'll go ahead and use the Grains of Spiritual Life, and it seems the Eclipse Scythe is very effective against Fiend Genshin, so if you do fight Fiend Genshin, definitely use the level 3 Eclipse Scythe because it seems to do really good damage against him.
Are you there, Dragon Ninja? All grows dark and silent. I have staked my name. I have fought with all of my being. All to forge a future for the Black Spider clan. I have no regrets. Just as you have pursued a cause greater than yourself, so too have I. Dragon Ninja, take my cursed blade.
Genshin.
Absolutely useless. I gave you the everlasting life of a fiend, yet you threw it away! Undone by your pathetic sentimentality.
Even in death, you could never understand him, Elizabeth.
I'll just use the Eclipse Scythe to kill Elizabeth because that seems like the most effective melee weapon to kill her. I didn't know you could use the Flying Swallow against Elizabeth to knock her down. This is the last heart you need in order to progress to the 3 upcoming boss fights. It's nice to see the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang get an upgraded version of it, that being the True Dragon Sword being paired with the Blade of the Archfiend. That is so cool. It's a much better version of the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, not just because it looks cool, but also it does really good damage. It's better damage than the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang. You know, the final chapter of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black has more going for it than the final chapter of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, because the final chapter in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, you just had to, you know, escape the caverns and fight Fiend Nohai as the final boss. That's it. Whereas in this game, you have much more before the final boss fight, so you would have, you know, the 2 boss fights that I just fought, and you would have some enemies to fight in between the upcoming 3 boss fights. I should also note that you have enemies to fight before Fiend Genshin and Elizabeth.
Still, it hungers for blood. The sacrifice is inadequate. It must have more!
Let's see what's in this chest. Nice herb of spiritual life, and I'll go ahead and heal that save. I'll buy herb of spiritual life, then 2, you know, grains of spiritual life. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'll use up Devil's Way mushroom, then buy 1 more again. And then I'll save and be done. Yeah, all done. I'm so glad you can shop before entering the boss fights, because in Ninja Gaiden Sigma you had to go all the way to the maze to shop, and you couldn't do it before the boss fight in chapter 19, which was so annoying. It was a headache, but now you can, you know, shop at Moromatsu's before the boss fights, which is so much better.
Dragon Ninja.
Definitely use the Blade of the Archfiend and the Lunar Staff melee weapon to, you know, kill Dagradai faster.
flesh and blood become your sacrifice!
Let's open this chest and see what's inside. Yellow essence. Not really of any use anymore because you can't use it to buy items at more masses. This is definitely the easiest boss fight in the game because all you need to do is use your projectile weapons against the Archfiend first form. That being the Howling Cannon or the bow. Use whichever projectile weapon you want. It doesn't matter because, you can't attack the Archfiend first form with the melee weapon. It just doesn't work. So just stick to using the projectile weapons. Shoot it at the Archfiend first form's face, and this, white glowy heart. Just remember, you have to wall jump a few times just to catch up to the first form Archfiend. Let's see what's inside of this chest. Yellow essence, once again. Not really useful now. Let's see what's inside of this chest. Nice blue essence. Right, this is the last time you run up walls and start wall jumping just to catch up to the Archfiend first form. As you just saw, I tried attacking with the Archfiend's hand. It didn't do any damage, so yeah, just use projectile weapons, that's your only way of defeating it. Now this is Archfiend second form, although it should say the Archfiend second form and the other one should be Archfiend first form. Also, you can attack this second form Archfiend with melee weapons and projectile weapons and Ninpo, which is really cool. Now, the second form Archfiend will fly away, so you can't really attack it with melee weapons. You can only use projectile weapons and Ninpo. However, if it gets close enough to you, you can use the weapons if it's in front of you. I'll go ahead and use Muramasa's Omusubi, and this completely restores your health, which is really cool, although you only get one. And that's the Archfiend second form taken down.
Ryu?
The light of dawn drives away the darkness once again. Darkness is destined to lift in the end. I still have much left to do.
And that's the end of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll be playing Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge in the next video. One last thing before I go, I really did enjoy Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. It's definitely a fun Ninja Gaiden game. I definitely love the weapon variety. It is superb. Definitely like that. I also like the fact that they made the Art of the Inferno much better in this game than in Ninja Gaiden Sigma. But what I don't like is the linear level design. So you would go from one place to another in one part of the mission and just, constantly fight enemies over and over and over. Again, there was no finding an object and you would place it down on top of a pedestal and a gate would open. There's none of that. I also don't like the fact that Team Ninja thought it would be a great idea to make a worse version of the Art of the Fire Wheels, that being the Flame Phoenix. I also don't like how they got rid of the Art of the Inazuma and replaced it with the Wind Blades. But that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.